The Inventory Aging Report is found in Inventory Management under the Reports area, and then Status, Physical Inventory, and Inventory Aging. When you open the report dialog, you'll be able to select the date that you want to run the report as of. For my example, I'll use the last day of August. Then, in the View group, you can select which inventory dimensions and components you want to print. Here, you can see that Item Group is set to Total. This means that a total will be presented for each item group, and the items will be grouped by the item group. Next, you can see the item number is set to View. This means that a column will display on the report with each individual item number. You can also select the other inventory dimensions, and for each dimension, you can select whether you want it to be displayed and whether it should be viewed or totaled. If the value is set to No, it will not be displayed on the report. Then, at the bottom of the report, you'll select the aging period. You can select whether the aging period will be based on days, dates, or date intervals. If you type in days, then you can simply type the number of days into aging periods 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you select dates, then you'll actually type a date range for each aging period. When you use the Date Intervals option, you'll be able to select a date interval, such as months, quarters, years, or anything that you've configured in the date interval form. Date intervals are found in the General Ledger module underneath the Setup folder. For more information about how to configure a date interval, you can refer to the Finance 1 in Microsoft Dynamics AX 2012 R3 e-learning course. In my example, we're going to use days, and you can see that the first aging period is set to 30 days, 60, 90, and then 120. You can also use the Select button on this report to choose additional options or apply filters to the report. It's important to note that if you have a high volume of transactions or items, this report may take some time to run, so you may want to consider running it in batch mode by clicking the Batch tab and selecting Batch Processing. For my example, I'm just going to go ahead and click OK to run the report. When the report prints, you can see in this particular example, I'm seeing the item group for the first item group of audio. Then, one line for each of the items that belong to that particular item group. The product description is displayed along with the inventory unit of measure that is set up on the released products form. Next, you can see what the total on-hand quantity is. This is the total on-hand quantity as of the as-on date. You can also see what the on-hand value is. The inventory value quantity is determined by taking the on-hand value divided by the quantity. Here you can see the average unit cost extends out to be $302.70. Then, in the remaining columns, you can see the quantity and amount in each of your aging buckets, 30, 60, 90, and 120. This is repeated for each of the items, and you'll notice at the bottom of the item group, totals are displayed for that particular item group. In our next lesson, we'll talk a little bit more about reports that you can use for forecasting.